Now, when I saw this pick come through on draft night, I was live on some draft show. The whole thing I was thinking in the back of my mind is I just cannot wait for Paul's show on Monday to talk about this
Oh,
pick
wow. Okay.
because this is one of my favorite picks of the entire draft, period.
Mm.
Um, Taking him at 73, he's 25th on my board. He was a first round or like the very top end of my second round grades. So he was my corner two behind Travis Hunter. So really corner one if you see Travis Hunter as a wide receiver. I love Azareye'h Thomas. I think his tape is outstanding. And this is really, again, you can take a lot of solace in this front office being, you always hear best player available over positional need, right? You don't want to pass up on a great player to just fill a hole, which I think on day two is really important. And they see that they have, in my opinion, the best true corner in the draft falling to them at 73 overall, and they take it. So I'm not intimately familiar with what defensive scheme Aaron Glenn is going to bring in there. I don't know what he's going to be asking his
We
corners
don't
to
know
do.
yet. Yeah, he said
So
what he was going to do is whenever he collects all his players for NC trade, all the major stuff, then he and his team are going to decide what scheme they're going to run. That's what he said publicly, anyway.
okay, well, again, that's good press to mold your scheme to these players. It's you always hear Jimmys and Joes over X's and O's, right? The players are more
Yeah.
important than the scheme. Is you mold the scheme to the players, which in Azaria's case is extremely important because you had this guy running basically all bump and run at Florida State, and he's such a good press corner. He's awesome in press man coverage. And you see it in the frame. I mean, he looks like he has like 30-inch arms. The guy he scratches ankles standing up. He's so lanky, massive frame. He's an incredible athlete, super twitchy. The acceleration, the recovery speed is never an issue. He does guess a lot in press coverage, which most of the good press corners do, and he'll guess wrong. But the good news with him is that he's plenty athletic enough to make up for guessing wrong. The problem is when you have a corner that is super like a gambler, but is too stiff to make up for it in the recovery speed. Azaria is super fluid, even at being like 6'2", 6'3", super lanky, whatever he is. The ball skills are really, really incredible. He's physical at the catch point. He'll get in there and knock it out. So if they allow him to be this physical press man corner that he is in that scheme, I think he's going to be an outstanding boundary corner for a long time. This is obviously an A for me, being 25th on my board. One of my favorite picks of the entire draft.